What's up everyone, I'm Dan. Okay, so I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant about She-Hulk because the internet, comments on social media and content creators are driving me insane. Okay, so here's the thing, the interesting thing is, what I've noticed is when a male character is put in a role, and not just in a comic book movie but in media in general, they're given skills, powers, etc. We as an audience just accept that they're capable of doing things. See Bourne Identity, Die Hard, Taken, Star Wars, John Wick, Batman, Blade, Superman, the list goes on, and we just take for granted that they'll save the day, no questions asked. The minute you put a woman in that role, it seems audiences have to stop to question where their training is, how they're able to do this. Why are they so confident? Why do they have so much power? Why aren't they calling for help? She-Hulk is no exception to this, even though it is a more light-hearted show, and we all know this because we were all told what the tone of the show would be before it was released. It would sort of be like an Ally McBeal but with superheroes. That was my way of picturing it. But that doesn't or shouldn't take away anything from She-Hulk herself, and being confident, being in touch with herself as a character and the changes that happen to her shouldn't matter or be seen as a problem. We accepted it with Captain America, who literally stepped out of a chamber and immediately started using his powers with ease. So we should accept it here. And most importantly, it's good to remember that these are fictional characters in a fictional world who have superpowers. Okay, still with me? Great, because I want to tell you just how much I love this show. There are some things that I'm not so keen on, but I'll get to that later. She-Hulk, starring Tatiana Maslany, sees Jennifer Walters, the cousin of Bruce Banner, the Hulk, navigate the world as an attorney and also as a superhero. After she gets into a car accident with Bruce and his gamma-radiated blood accidentally enters her own bloodstream. Things move quite quickly in the first episode, so we don't have to wait too long to see her transform, and we're also quickly given information about the current condition of Bruce and his relationship with the Hulk, which is always a good thing as we don't really get the opportunity to spend much time with this character outside of team-up movies where he's usually just along for the ride. Thank you very much, Universal. Anyway, I've loved She-Hulk so far. It moves quite quickly and the characters are all likable. It's been great seeing characters like Emil Blonsky, for example, return and seeing his reformed way of living. I'm sure we'll get to see lots more of his character and the Abomination, probably in the Thunderbolts. Any fans familiar with the early comics will also remember just how much Jen would break the fourth wall, and that's something that is shown throughout this series as she turns to the camera to fill in the audience. Sometimes it's done as an info dump, and sometimes there's a little gag behind it, but it definitely works for the show. Also, shout out to Dan Slott, as you can feel his influence from his run on She-Hulk flowing through the series. If you've not read it and you're into comics, I would suggest checking it out. Okay, so let's talk about the things I'm not the biggest fan of. Firstly, the CGI is a bit ropey in places. This is something that a lot of people have been saying. It's good for the most part, but it can look very odd and rubbery at times. But it's also good to remember that this is a TV show and not a big budget movie, and unfortunately the time and money that would be spent on a movie probably just isn't going to be done on a TV series, even if it is a Marvel Studios production, especially when the lead character themselves is fully CG'd character. Saying that, I do have my theories as to why She-Hulk looks more out of place than characters like the Hulk and Abomination in places, and I think it's to do with the detail, whether it's facial hair or wrinkles. Because of She-Hulk's more smoother appearance in the face, it does make her facial expressions stand out a bit more. Hopefully this is something that can be fixed in the future, however. Next up is the runtime. Now, I get it's a comedy show and it's meant to have that short week by week format, but the episodes are just too short. Now, if you've seen my recent video about the issues I think these Marvel shows have, I would say the length of the episodes are the biggest problem. It's a problem for the stories being told, the character development and the world building. They need to be longer and they need to be at least an hour. She-Hulk definitely feels way too short. Just when it feels like it's getting going, the episode's over. All in all though, like I said, I'm enjoying the show so far. It's funny, the way it pokes fun at the current social media generation is good. It's introducing us to new characters and kind of showing us things behind the scenes of all the superheroes. how the public view them, and how they're being held accountable for their actions. Anyway, have you seen the She-Hulk series yet? What do you think about it? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll catch you next time.